Hi, Caspar here on the 15th of July 2020 and got a white burgundy here. This is 2014 Savigny-lès-Beaune Blanc, Les Goudelettes from domain Camus-Bruchon, and it's a wine that I've always found has something called on Charlemagne about it, despite the fact that it comes from a vineyard above the town and really not connected to the slopes on which in any way in which Courton Charlemagne is grown. But let's have a look at it anyway. Boldly coloured, goodness me, positive, pale, canary yellow sort of colour. It's not giving a lot away on the nose, you know, it's not a particularly demonstrative thing. I think spare might sum up the aromas rather. Well, it's got some spice and bit of lemon and a bit of orchard fruit, but it's very much a lower sort of register, but keenly cut, keenly defined. It feels vigorous. It feels yeah, really well defined, I must say. Fresh and but spare. Let's have a taste of it. Goodness me, that reminds me a bit of the Boisson Vado Merceau Chevalier that I did a video of some time ago. If you scroll through our YouTube videos, you'll find my tasting of it. 08 Merceau Chevalier from Boisson Vado. Boisson Vado, very much acid focused producer, and I'm getting this extraordinary lemon thrust from this, and almost an austerity, because well, it is quite an austere wine. It reminds me a bit of the 04 Burgundies, which were, it was rather, you know, many of them were rather like being shot in the face with a shotgun full of terroir and little else in the way of fruit. This is very tightly wound. It's very spare. It's got no flesh to it on the bones. Bit of a supermodel, but it's a little bit nutty. It's got a wisp of sort of hazelnut, but it's driven, saline, intensely firm, very lemony thrust that goes right into the long term. It's a very long thing, and desperately crying out for some food. And you know, oysters would be perfect with this. I mean, I think they would sort out that extraordinary saline mineral acidity rather well. It's got a lot of matter in there, a lot of mineral density to it, but as I say, very little in the way of flesh or outright fruit. It's all allied to that very earth-driven mineral component, which is communicated through that extraordinary acidity. It's a real whip crack of a wine. In terms of drinking dates, I mean, yes. Now, if you like that rapier thing, will it ever lose that? Will it ever fill out? I don't know. I think it's. I've got a case of this. This is my first bottle out of the case, actually, which is pretty extraordinary at 6 years old for a white Savigny. Not a Premier Cru vineyard, but I mean, the colour suggests some maturity. It's got a it's, you know, it's as I say, deepened in colour. It's quite pronounced, the this lemon canary, almost yellow. It's got a dry sort of savoury don't look for easy pleasures here. This is a cerebral wine. It really invigorates the senses. It's really is like sucking lemons. Yeah, it really reminds me of Boisson Vado wines, actually. super density and very, very long. Just pair it with the right food. And I think it's got really classy. It's certainly got something of the Court and Charlemagne about it, but it's not an easy wine to immediately feel some feel favourable towards. It impresses you with that cut and vivacity. But as I say, you pair it with the right wines, something creamy, oysters. Yeah, goodness me, fascinating to taste, and I'm looking forward to drinking the rest of my case over the next year, 2 years, maybe. Keep a few for longer. See what happens to them. I mean, that acidity should hold the wine in some sort of stasis, you think, for quite a long time, and see what else develops alongside that acidity. But that's been 2014, and what a vintage that was for white burgundy. 2014 Savigny-lès-Beaune blanc, les Goudelettes, from the domaine Camus-Bruchon, whose wines I love. Guillaume's a very nice Guillaume Camus is a very nice chap, and I think makes super wines red and white. But there we go, fascinating stuff. Yeah, another interesting look at the 2014 vintage for white burgundy. Fascinating.